Hey guys, welcome to Shatter Studios. We're super excited about today. We got something very special planned for you. Our team at Shattercast has decided to do something really cool. We're all big RPG fans, role player game fans, and even old school pen and paper tabletop RPG fans. So we've been working on a couple things with that, maybe even some original stuff, more information about that maybe in the future. But as we're all kind of still stuck inside for a little bit, we thought it'd be really cool if we played an adventure together. And so there is this really cool system called Adventures in Middle Earth. It is based in the Lord of the Rings setting. So we love that. It's based with the 5e rule set from D&D. And so we thought it'd be really cool just to play it and have some fun. So today it's going to be our first session. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll keep going with it. And we're hoping as our characters grow and adventure through the story that they'll learn lots of cool stuff that we can even highlight some faith stuff, some hope stuff from it. So, but we're out to have some fun. So we're going to turn it over to our lore master, John. Take it away, bud.
John.
Hey,
John.
what is up?
That is, hey, John. Long time no see. You
Hey
changed
guys,
a lot.
okay, everyone take 7d10 falling damage. Get rid of your
Well,
character
You
sheets.
can't see my dice. Can you see my dice?
Kind of. All right, so Lord of the Rings, here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. The world grows dark. A shadow spreading from the east seems untouched by wind, rain, or season. Rumors have reached your ears of a necromancer wandering the southern Mirkwood at night. Bands of orcs and other dark creatures have been spotted in the forest near Dol Guldur. Not content with simply hiding in the shadows, their boldness speaks to a growing power and threat from the south. The year is 3017 of the Third Age. Rohan has withdrawn into its borders. Gondor remains steadfast in its kingdom, and its people live comfortable if stagnant lives. The Shire has enjoyed steady and joyful living over the years, untouched by outside circumstances. The dwarves and the elves are as distrusting as ever, secluded to their respective lands. Mirkwood is a great forest in Middle-earth, located in the eastern region of Rovanion, between the Grey Mountains and Gondor. All of you, at one point or another, had ventured perhaps a little too close to the Mirkwood. Edrahel, you are asleep, but you're just budding on the edge of consciousness as you feel your body kind of being jostled a little bit. Not overly so, you're not being tossed around, but you just feel this sort of unsteady bumping. You're not really sure what's going on, and something kind of starts tapping on your forehead. And you think maybe someone's trying to get your attention, and your eyes open to a very dark sky. A dark sky you don't recognize. It wasn't where you had gone to bed the night before. And as your eyes open, something watery gets in there, and it kind of stings and it burns, and you instinctively go to wipe your eyes. But you're unable to as you realize that your hands have been bound behind your back. And you kind of shake your head a little bit, and you look around, and you realize that you're in the back of a wagon, and there's this caravan. You're tied up, you don't have your weapons, you don't have your armor, and you look around and you see a handful of people bound and tied up with you, and it's raining. You realize the bumping that you were feeling was the caravan kind of shaking down this rocky road. And the tapping on your forehead was the rain starting to pour. You hear there's two people in the front of the wagon that you're being pulled in. And they're kind of whispering to each other. You can't really make out exactly what they're saying, but you hear something about trees. You hear something about getting through the storm. Not really able to pick up necessarily what they're saying completely, but you get a little bit, and you have no idea where you are or what's going on, or who any of the people in the wagon with you are. What do you want to do?
Gabe?
What you doing, Gabe?
Hello?
Is it just me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only one awake right now.
I thought you were talking about all of us. Okay. I was like,
What-
I
what
hope
would
that
you
somebody
like
with more
to
experience
do?
starts talking.
Edrahel.
We're off to a great
Okay.
start.
I tried tapping somebody else. So with are my feet bound or not?
Yes.
My feet are also bound.
You're sitting up, but your feet are bound and your hands are bound behind your back.
All right, so I start trying to jump like this, trying to go to the person next to me. There's a dwarf that seems familiar, so I want to go there and see if I can wake him up too. I know that they're kind of feisty, and maybe he'll help me to unbound myself.
All right. Nebuchadnezzar.
Now, I think that it's a he, but I know that female dwarves also have like big birds and long birds, so I don't know.
It's the beards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar, you awaken to this sort of like jabbing sensation in your side.
What is that, eh?
Please don't let that be his voice. Please don't let that be his voice.
Oi! Who's doing that? Where more? How did I get here?
Talk to the door.
Hey, would you help me untie? I think that we're here bound. I don't know how I got here or what's happening. What do you think? Do you remember anything that happened before?
Right around that time, there's a bright flash in the night sky and a crack of thunder as lightning strikes about 200 or 300 meters away from the wagon. You hear the whip as the people driving the wagon kind of speed up a little bit, and everything gets a little bit rockier.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a strength check to kind of break my binds with my muscles.
All right.
I have a 3 plus 1, so a 4.
A 4. You summon all of your dwarven bestial anger, and you just serve to actually tighten your binds a little bit.
What a bloody hell is this? So my guy sees to explain to Gabe's guy that there must be some sort of black magic here that has kept him bound, because no binds can ever keep him bound. So it has to be black magic.
Okay.
You even lift, bro?
I wanna try jumping again and trying to wake up some of the other people that are around.
All right. You kind of like jump around. You kind of like hop to the next person. This person, they're humanoid, and as you kind of go to give him a bit of a jab, as you do, you hear from one of the wagon riders turn around and go, "Shut up in there, will ya?" And as he yells that, there's another flash and a crack of lightning. And Serial, you awaken with a jolt as the lightning strikes nearby, and you see this bound person in front of you, like hopping towards you, as you awaken in a wagon with a thunderstorm raging all around, a little uncomfortable.
Cyrell wakes with a startle. I gaze around, trying to grasp my surroundings, trying to see anything, what's going on, and I call out, Will, where are you? Will is my esquire, so I'm searching for him. Do I see him?
Make we'll call this performance check.
Okay. Second roll of the game. My performance check. So -1. Here we go. I got 2 -1, so a 1. Yep.
Yes.
We're
I
off to a
love
great
this
start.
party so far.
Right as you call out to Will, there's another crack of lightning. This one strikes maybe 50 meters away from the wagon. The whole wagon is jostled by just the wave of sound and the thunder that booms out, completely drowning out your attempt at calling to Will. However, with that crack of thunder, Dala, you're jolted awake, and you see this person who's bound by his ankles, by his hands, and he's kind of hopping around on a wagon. There's a thunderstorm raging, and you hear this other person who's like calling out, but every time he yells, thunder happens to come out, and he's just getting really frustrated. He's trying to time it in between the lightning, and then when he goes for it, and so every time it's just silence. You just kind of stand there, you study what's going on, a little confused.
I'm just, yeah, I am confused. What's going on? Can I figure this out?
Roll for confusion.
What
Oh,
shall
now.
I do next? What shall I do next? Yeah, I'm just looking around, a little startled, but I know something. I don't know. I get like a feeling that something worse is going to happen next.
May or may not be accurate, as another lightning bolt strikes. This one hits the ground right behind the wagon. And Dala, you're in the back next to a rather small creature, another humanoid creature, but they're very short, tied up, still sleeping. And the lightning strikes so close to the back of the wagon, it kicks dirt up into the air. And you're at first kind of blinded by the light, and then you're peppered with dirt and rocks as they sort of fly into the back of the wagon, which at that point, Haley, you awake to just all these little tiny pebbles and rocks landing on your head and slamming into your face.
Oh wait, I can't move I'm bound, right?
Yes.
Am I like on my stomach?
You're on your side. You're on your side.
On my side. Okay.
Yeah. Some of the dirt gets in your mouth. It's really gross.
Like, I have no words. I'm just trying to like take everything in.
All right. Edrahel, they whip the horses again, trying to get to the tree line. You hear one of them yelling at the other one, like they don't want to be caught out here in this storm. And as the horses kind of pick up pace again, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Is that with the dice 20?
Yes, D20. Roll a D20, and then your saving throw box above your skills, add the dexterity saving throw modifier.
All right, I got a unnat 20.
It was just Edrahel.
Oh.
Can I use the
Save
nat
that for
20?
later.
No, you can't.
Around in the wagon right now.
I try to dexterity out of my binds, but they get worse.
What'd you get, Edrahel?
I got a 14 plus, you said dexterity plus 3, so 17.
17. All right, that's enough. So as the wagon kind of picks up, you feel yourself starting to sort of tilt back, like you're going to get thrown back away from where you're standing in the wagon. But you kind of do this sort of hop, and while you're in the air, you kind of right yourself, and you're able to stay upright. Right now, you're like the only one of everyone who is standing up in the wagon during this lightning and rain. You start to feel a bit of a tingling sensation on your neck, like your hairs are starting to stand up.
My hair is starting to stand up?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay. So what I can do is call the attention of Cyril, sorry.
Cyril. Good job.
Cyril.
Y'all are killing me. 5 minutes into this.
I'm just glad it's not me. You know, as the DM, it's always my names that get made fun of. So.
Since he was the one looking for his esquire, his esquire is not there, right?
There is one person that you spot near the back of the wagon who is seemingly fast asleep.
Seemingly fast asleep. All right. Can I
Sounds like
make I don't know. Would it be like with an intelligence save to try to unbound myself from the ties?
I would say strength or dexterity, depending on what you're gonna do.
All right, dexterity.
Are you trying? Okay, all right.
I'm trying to unbound
Very
myself.
nice.
Just like, you know, I mean, like, it's like here.
Yeah, you're gonna slip them in front of you and try and undo them. So make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. So that's an 11.
An 11. It takes you like a minute, and everyone's kind of looking at you. And at one point, you get your hands like one leg through, and you kind of got them like now you're just kind of stuck there with one arm in front of you and one arm behind you, and the binds running between your legs, and everyone's just kind of staring at you. And you're like, I got this. Just give me a second. And then about a minute later, you're able to sort of wrench the other leg through, and you've got your hands are still bound, and you've been able to slip the bindings on your feet, but your hands are still bound. That's where you are right now.
Am I able to move my fingers?
Yes.
Okay, I want to start unbinding my feet.
That you slipped those already.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
All right. So, can I look at the people in front of me? Can I see them, or is it like a closed wagon?
The two people who are steering the wagon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can kind of see it's there's a wooden board in between you and them, but you can kind of see the tops of their heads from about here up from the back. So you can see like their eyes when they turn around and glance into the back of the wagon, which they haven't done in a minute because they're very focused on getting into the forest.
All right, then I want to walk on, not walk up to them, but like hop or whatever I can do to get close to them to just like knock them off the wagon.
All right. As you make a couple steps towards the front of the wagon, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! That's 9.
9.
9.
9.
I'm sorry.
The lore master laughs. It's usually not good.
You take 6 points of truly lightning damage as lightning cracks down from the sky in the midst of this rather plain field, as it's sort of been honing in on the wagon over the last couple minutes, you being the tallest creature around and conducting electricity as you do. The lightning strikes you, you're thrown forward into the wooden board that separates you from the drivers. They're disgruntled. They're confused. It kind of one of them, it kind of kicks them forward a little bit, and they have to steady themselves. Let's actually see if they manage to steady themselves. That was an 18. Yeah, they do. They're able to sort of maintain where they are on their position. You're dazed and kind of stunned. You also kind of slump to the ground. Yeah.
Cyril says, "Elf, keep low."
Thank you.
Are like Gabe's brows just like
Oh, child.
and they just like
see a little bit of like smoke kind of coming up from the small of his back where the lightning struck him. The thank you is more of a as you sort of regain your
all right. So can I try to break my binds one more time?
Yeah.
Okay. And would that just be like a raw strength, or would that be like a athletics check? Okay. Oh, a 5 total.
When you feel like no one is looking at you, already embarrassed a little bit by last time, you try once again, and you're not able to break through the binds. They seem a little bit stronger than you were expecting.
All right. And then with this cart, how tall are the walls on the cart next to us? Because I know like there's no roof.
So there is no roof. The cart, there's a bench that you are sitting on. When you sit on the bench, the wall extends up about 2.5 feet. The bench itself is about a foot off of the floor of the flat bed of the wagon. So the wall itself is about 3.5 feet tall.
Okay. So from where I'm at, then I cannot see over that wall then.
Not at your current stature.
Okay. Then that's what I'll let someone else do something.
Still bound. I'm gonna try to shuffle over to the elf that I see that's a little dazed, and I'm gonna whisper to him, "Hey, can you help me break out of these so we can figure out what's going on?"
All right. Can I move after the?
Yep.
All right. So yes, I'm gonna try to help him.
All right. So since you got your hands in front of you and you can move your digits and everything, I'm going to say make a dexterity check. We'll call this yeah, acrobatics with advantage. We'll find digital manipulation here.
So roll the dice twice.
Yes,
All
roll
right.
the d20 twice and tell me what the larger result is.
All right. That's not it. It's the same. It's a 4 on the dice.
You rolled a
It's,
4 twice.
7 total.
All right, so it takes a minute with the help of Cyrell. You're able to get him to sort of slip the bonds on his hands. And Cyrell, you're able over the next minute or so to take care of the bonds on your feet. Now that you've kind of freed yourself, you've got a little bit more of your wits about you. You take a look around, you notice a small figure in the back of the wagon who's still seemingly asleep. It's dark, but with each flash of lightning, you kind of get a visual, a little bit more detail of who it is, and you think it's Will. You're not positive, but it looks like it. But he's about 12 feet away, and it's dark.
Gotcha. Are my hands still bound?
No, you're able to take care of that in your feet.
Okay. I will whisper, "Will," and then say to the elf, "Let's get the rest of these people untied." And I just like leave them and start crawling towards Will, or who I think is Will.
Okay.
All right, Cyril, could you help me untie first? I'm still kind of like.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were on. I'm sorry, elf friend. I thought you were unbound. Sure, I'm gonna help him with his.
All right.
Fine.
Yeah. With your hands free, it's pretty simple, and you're able to undo the knots and everything. It takes about 10 seconds. So Edrahel, your hands are free. You see a dwarf, a hobbit, and Dala. What culture are you again? I forget. You're a human, Minas Tirith. So you see a dwarf, a hobbit, and a human, who are all at varying stages of duress right now, uncomfortable, stressed out, and still bound. Who are you going to help first?
The woman from Minister.
All right. So Edrahel, you go over to Dala. You start helping her with the binds around her ankles and around her hands. While you're doing that, Cyrell, that's going to take me a minute. I'm sorry. Cyrell, you make your way to the back of the wagon. I want you to make a dex save. As you get about halfway through, another lightning bolt slams down right next to the wagon, and the left side, the driver's side, kind of lifts up off the ground by about half a foot, and you're kind of thrown a bit.
It's okay. I'm more acrobatic than I look. I rolled a nat 20. So.
Shoot. First natural 20. All right. So as the wagon kind of picks up and on the driver's side, it lifts up off the ground, you're thrown to the right side of the wagon, and you're about to topple over with your relatively, compared to most of the rest of the people in here, tall frame. You go over the edge of the wagon, and for a second, everyone's like,
Keep going.
nice to know Cyrell. But you manage to hook your hand on the side of the wagon, and you're kind of being dangled in the wind as the wagon is flying through, just at a dead run with these horses. You're able to leverage your strength, and you pull yourself back up with a bit of a flourish. You kind of roll over and do a bit of a 3-point landing, superhero
Nice.
style. Beautiful. In the middle of the
Adam
rain,
East.
right as you land, lightning strikes. Wow. Brilliant. You make your way to the back of the wagon, shake off the near-death experience you just had, and you see, now that you're a little bit closer, you're pretty sure that is Will.
I'm gonna grab him, shake him to wake. Try to wake him up. Will, get up! And while he's still hopefully waking up, I'm gonna start unbinding him.
Okay, so let's see if he wakes up. Woohoo! You kind of give him a bit of a shake. His eyes open a little bit, and he looks a little disoriented. And when his eyes open, you see one of them is just completely bloodshot. And the next lightning bolt that strikes, you see like this dark mark all around his face. Looks like he's been hurt pretty badly and is still quite wounded. Took some kind of blow to the head. At that point, you're able to untie his hands, and he goes, "Sarah, is that you?"
Yes, boy. I'm glad you are okay.
Where are we?
We're trying to figure that out now with some of our new friends here. Seems like we're in predicament. Are you okay? Can you stand by yourself?
Oh God, my head. I think, and he pulls up on you and tries to stand. He gets about halfway up.
Before he stands up, I'm gonna like keep him from standing up tall and be like, "Don't stand all the way up. There's lightning. That elf over there got a surprise shot."
Right as you say that and you kind of pull down on him, he's like, "Oh," and he kind of leans over the edge of the wagon and spills whatever contents might have been in his stomach, and then he kind of slumps back down onto the ground. His hair is kind of stringy and matted at this point from the rain, and he's like, I don't feel so good."
All right, you have one job. Don't fall off the wagon. I'm gonna help the others.
Okay. And he kind of like he scoots over to where the bench is, and he kind of like half hides under the bench to try and not get tossed off. So at this point, Cyrell, Edrahel, and Dala are untied. You hear one of the people driving the wagon. They kind of yell over to the person next to him. They say, "Get back there and see what they're doing."
Can I punch somebody?
What was that?
Can I punch somebody?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Get it going.
Yeah, you can. So the person in the right position, if you're looking forward at the two people in front of you, the person on the left stays there. They keep sort of whipping at the horses that are pulling the wagon. The person to his right stands up, and you see before you this tall, burly man. You can't tell in the light if he's overweight or muscular. He's got a larger build to him. He as he stands up, he stands about 2 feet higher than the wall that separates the two of you. You see him from about mid-chest up. He steps up on the bench, jumps over it, and lands in the back of the wagon, facing the three of you that are the four of you rather. No, the three of you that are unbound currently. And he looks at you and he draws his sword and he says, "Are we gonna have any trouble?" Sit down.
So I see this rope that's like kind of by his feet from the people that got out, and I like pull the rope and he falls on the wagon, and I kick his shins. I don't know why, but I do it. Just
all right. So you reach down and you give a tug on the rope. I want you to make an athletics check.
Can I assist with like a distracting him?
Sure. What do you do to distract him?
I'm assuming like I'm right at the entrance of the. So he's like right next to me. So I look up at him and I'll be like, excuse me, sir, I just, do you have a moment to hear about our Lord and Savior, and just kind of ramble and bumble.
He looks down at you, Haley, and he's like, "What are you on about?" And as he says that, Dala, you give a good yank on the rope. So go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage. So roll your d20 twice and use the larger number.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
19.
19. Oh, yeah. As you kind of wrap the rope around one of your wrists and you grab it with both hands and you just yank it while he's not looking. and exactly like you had envisioned in your head. His feet are caught up in the rope, and it pulls him off. You hear this loud clattering sound as he falls in his metal armor, and it slams against the wood. For a moment, he's dropped his sword. And I need everyone to roll initiative. So roll a d20, add your initiative bonus. If you don't have one, let me know, but you should. And then I will ask for those numbers in a second.
Starting fights.
Wait, where's the bonus? Oh.
So it's going to be, what's your dexterity modifier, Christina? Left-hand side of the screen, or the sheet, it's going to be the second ability score is dexterity. What's the modifier on that one?
14, is it?
Okay, so your modifier is +2 with that.
+2, yeah.
So your initiative bonus is going to be a +2. So roll a d20 and add 2 to it. Okay, so now we get to everyone's initiative. Anyone 25 to 20?
20.
Nice.
We got
Dala came to play.
Dala with a 20. 20 to 15.
Got a 15.
17.
Just the two of you? Okay, so we got Cyrell. And then Nebuchadnezzar. 15 to 10.
11.
Yeah, Joel.
11.
11. All right. And Haley, what you got?
6.
All right. Let me roll for this poor sap. Oh, shoot.
He's not so poor now.
He rolled well, and yet, Dala, you are going first. So in combat, you have an action, you have movement, and you have a bonus action that you can take. So an action can be to attack, it can be to interact with an object. So you just yanked the rope out from under this guard. He falls to the ground, and when he falls, his elbow hits just right that it kind of hits his funny bone and it hurts, and he drops the sword from his hand.
Ooh.
But he's laying on the ground on his back. What do you do?
I grab the sword and I put it to his throat.
Okay. Make an intimidation check. With advantage because you have his weapon.
Just rolling.
Might be the shortest fight of the entire game, guys.
Doing awesome, Dala. Keep it going.
So,
No, I
MVP.
don't think any of us have our weapons.
And I'm adding the +4 to that, right?
Yeah, if that's the number next to your intimidation skill, yes.
So 18.
18?
Oh my god.
18. Yeah.
18?
I'm just gonna retire.
Yeah, I just
play my
I'm just
character,
gonna.
please.
I think that I'll just stay bound for the rest of it.
You might have rolled an 18, but
Can you
he
carry me?
Oh.
rolled a 3.
Ooh.
So he hits the ground, and the rain kind of gets in his eyes for the first time, and it makes him sort of dazed for a second. And he goes to kind of jump up to his feet, and as he leans forward, he feels this metal sort of prick into his neck a little bit, and it gives him pause, and lightning flashes on the wagon next to you guys, and it illuminates sort of your figure, and you've got your sword to his throat. What do you say to intimidate him?
I advise you to not mess with us. We have a battle to win.
I'm intimidated.
Alien just goes,
Everyone takes 1d6 psychic damage. Back burn. No. And he just looks up at you, and he doesn't say anything, and he just goes with his hand up. So you guys, you've got him at sword point.
I'm gonna whisper, "Great job, lady. Keep watch over him," and then I'm gonna try to go over towards the dwarf and help him get unbound.
excuse me, I'm tied up too.
I'll go to Haley and help her be unbound.
All right. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw. And
not
Nebuchadnezzar and Haley, I need you both to make it with disadvantage because you are bound.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I got a 15.
With disadvantage. That's pretty good. Nice.
That's
Seven.
better than me.
All right.
10.
So Nebuchadnezzar, 15. Edrahel, 9.
10.
7.
10.
Oh,
Haley.
okay.
Haley.
7. 7.
7. Okay. Cyril.
6.
6. And Dala.
8.
8. Okay. So, and I guess that guard needs to make it. I would say with disadvantage because he is he's pinned to the ground with a sword. Okay, and he actually did okay. He got 15. The driver, natural 1.
See ya.
Our driver got a natural 1.
Rip.
As Edrahel, as you make your way to this small figure you recognize as a hobbit, Cyril, you make your way over to Nebuchadnezzar to start untying this dwarf. When there's this flash of brilliant light that sort of is blinding for a moment as lightning strikes right next to the wagon, and it's on the driver's side again. The wagon all tilts up again. This time, as it's happening, a second bolt of lightning comes down and strikes into the right side of the wagon and blows out the front tire. This wooden spoked wheel just gets destroyed. At the speed you guys were going, the wagon immediately dips into the ground, digs into the dirt, and the wood starts to splinter and break away. And as you're all sort of violently tossed, the wagon flips.